because it seems very consistent from all 4 of those squads getting towards a late finish. The Flash just lagging behind a little bit, but it is so close. Like, dead heat between Alter Ego, Inner Circle, Weibo is insane to me. All 3 teams with 74 points. I can't remember which group it was, but we had another group where it might have been Group Red, where it was 3 teams on the same points towards the top side and winning out on tiebreakers. Just insanely close this tournament so far. I feel like a broken record as well, because every single PMGC we get, I'm like,
flashback, then they are going to need to break that tiebreaker. Some bad omens. Some bad omens. Also our squads at the moment. Weibo saying it's very likely going to be a swing over the south side of Stalbert. I think those positions on the east side of the circle. In a circle, yeah, you'd hope it was an eastern bridge. Snake down immediately. Roseberry going to test his metal here, but there is some great shots from Neil Zada off in the distance. Vitin will find Roseberry. Krypton has a lot to do here. I like that pre-fire. To keep things under control, gonna abandon Roseberry. Oh my god! Salvas into the backup. The nade goes long, and it might just be a resible here. Ratoboy wants to stop it with a bounce on the container. Roseberry is looking pretty resible. Neil Zada trying to launch a nade. Ratoboy, Vitin, both trying to find it. Geek are here. Hang on a minute. A third party coming through from the northern shore, all the way from the backlines. And that should allow Alter Ego to maybe repair the estimating damage that's been sent their way already. Alva desperately picking people up. Neil Zada, very exposed, not to slow it down, but overexposed to Krypton. And he's able to slice on through it. Roseberry back to his feet. The backup bombs cut away by the third party from DK. Roseberry re-knock, but Snape severs the connection to that knocker. Will not be able to find a flush. Ratoboy desperately bringing back Neil Zada now and loops his dreams. Maybe coming crashing down here. Alter Ego on top for now, and they want more. They want to keep it going. But Ratoboy rages on the inside. Krypton bust away, and DK in for the fight. Once more, they look to stop a team at the top. And the one bites the dust. That's Alter Ego down and out. 75 points is the marker now for first place. What a big stand-up there for Krypton, but not enough as DK swings in from that north side. Oh, the reset just could not come through. I think if Alter Ego was able to get the full reset, they might have just divulged away from this location, straight down towards the south. Second time now where Alter Ego, right at the beginning of the game, gets completely cut out. Starting to wonder if this is potentially targeted. I mean, GK with 3 elims on the hunt for the remnants of loops. For Alter Ego, that's nasty. It felt like GK were giving them a little assist. I wonder if Papler Supermassive are aware of this. I mean, starting up towards Zaki, by the way, for Papler Supermassive, they may have heard some of this fighting. But the quiet should spook them now. They'll have seen a squad wipe coming through on their elim feed. They should be aware that this is popping off. I think getting to the circle might be a little bit more of a firm beckon. be a little bit more of a firm beckon for Papa Supermassive. As we hop over to the east side, though, Arc Red very central. Team Flash on quite a big split, lining the east side of the Asnaya fields right now, and trying to hold out as much as they can. Weibo a little bit further out east towards that mansion split area.
I think it's a reasonable split coming through from the Flash. They can contain a lot of this area for the time being. A lot of safe buildings to work with as well. Especially this one here for tops. Time being, a lot of safe buildings to work with as well. Especially this one here for tops. The wall around it keeps him pretty fortified. Should have off angles from his team as well to help if anything goes down. But you hope that they would regroup soon. They have got a lot of on board side in the Asnaya. Ton of time to grab smoke, nades.
PG 不要呢，PG 不要呢嘛，这光变呢。
Everything they might want towards an end game. Weibo do make that across on South Stalbert. Nico though finding GK. GK kind of an annoying squad right now for a lot of teams, I imagine. We have no. Also, I will say though, for GK, I really did like that rap. Right? When they saw over towards Loops, they did a lot of damage towards Loops. They were like, okay, that team is in a struggle bus city. So let's wrap over towards the other side and try and take down the other team that seems to be taking a lot of damage trying to get the reset. So it was a smart move. Hard southeast shift. Goodness me. So we're over towards Lumberyard. Boars do have an outpost already set up there, so good foresight on that one from them, trying to take as much area as possible from where they were playing.
Foresight might not be enough though. Need to go for the 5, 6, 7 side. In the end, Ryuk spotted out in the open. Very wide split for the Falcons. They were hedging their bets on this one, but they do get spotted with one of their players. They'll play on as 3, trying to make their way down south with the rest of them. Team Flash. I mean, picking up a point for Team Flash is good. Every single point matters. And I mean, this is what we were talking about, right? With points denials also being so important. We've seen several be denied over the course of the games here in Last Chance and over the course of the tournament in general. And it would break a tiebreaker like this, right? It would put Weibo above Inner Circle or vice versa in scenarios like this, which is exactly why we talk about it being such a viable strategy in these really, really close scenarios.
WPG.
I'm surprised by Weibo's approach on this one. They actually sent hard down towards the southeast. All the dead trees, pick up compounds that sit around there as well. Bit of a gamble from Weibo trying to get further into this match. Now Valor gets spun out. We'll have to reverse that bad boy across the grass. Arcred may just chase him down. That's Falcons down towards. I think that's 3 players. I think one player is very low, or it is just down to just down to 3 players now.
On that rotate down from the south side after playing that large split. Arcred not wanted to stretch out too far, and I think that's probably sensible given the circle right now. Teams will crunch in around them, and if they get embroiled in a fight for too long, it will get third parties.
You want to hold on to a prison spot, especially on the high ground as well. It's a very nice position from Arcred. Maybe they could have got something done there. I think quick flex out, but I think the high percentage play is just to stay there. For the Boars, who are currently at 47 points, they do have a real chance to get up towards the middle of the pack and potentially hunt down some of our top teams. With Alter Ego already out, it gives slightly more time, right? We add a little bit more to that stopwatch. Some of our squads trying to move through towards the top side of the lobby. Ray is just spinning out of control.
Heading with the Beyblade. Trying to make it work. EK on this northwest side. Of course, losing one of their players earlier on to Papa Supermassive. They are still on this north side next circle. We're going up towards the prison. Oh, a big feature of the circle. That prison ridge line that Arcred hold is a break point for teams moving up towards the North for Alliance. The Wolves are in a circle. Gen G, Weibo as well, is going to filter teams left and right of it. And I would not be surprised to see a couple of teams trying to put themselves in shackles and send on in there.
Well, that's a last-ditch scenario, right? If you are a solo or a duo, maybe you play prison, but it does become sort of unplayable area. You don't want to end up in there unless you're in zone 7, 8, and it is on top of prison directly. Weibo, very quick approach back over towards the Povka, scanning out that area, trying to control the ridge on the western side. I think they understand that they can't get the majority of the area there, so they're just going to sit this one out, it seems, over on the coast. GK sending it in early is interesting, in my opinion.
Big dogs in the prison yard.
I think they're more prisoners, honestly. just prisoners.
Oh yeah, big dog in the prison yard. Little minuscule terrier right now. I mean, you rock up there, you could have problems, but are you going to rock up there? Well, Loops seem to be scouting it. They're going as well. Loops are going in too. Loops are going in with GK. They're going for the lock-in. And Loops in a really important position, although to be fair, Loops are 2, so that's kind of more excusable.
Yeah, like I said, as a duo, it makes sense. For GK as a 3, I just don't really get it. Yeah, I think GK is just maybe unconfident in their capability to fight off a position around here and they just want to survive. Just fair enough. There's a lot of riding on this game. For GK with 38 points, feels unlikely. Maybe they're just wanting to get 10 points on this match, just keep pumping those numbers. But again, that is hoping that teams towards the top aren't doing well. Which right now, they wouldn't be wrong.
Get numbers, that's what this whole thing's about, right? Getting those. You really want a 1 or a 2 next to your name at the end of this one. Really, at the end of the day, Wolves playing on the southwest side, close to Alliance. The Wolves, a little bit of a fall off today, but still just about in with a chance. Really at the bottom rung, though, of that ladder, looking to try and climb up on 53 points. It is big games they need for the rest of today to jump up and compete. Unless Alter Ego keep going down with single-point games, in a circle, Weibo do the same, maybe. They don't need quite as much, but the next circle will pop in as well. If we go to a prison finish back, I feel like I'd absolutely love that, but it would be terrifying for our players. 90 Globe and rocking up to Burmese ghouls.
We are closing in on it. Don't enjoy prison finishes personally, but could be the way forward. I mean, Arcred do have sightlines down towards it, but again, it's this massive glut of teams down towards the southwest who all have to journey up there soonish. It's a slight slope they'll have to make their way through. So likely the Alliance, Wolves, Falcons, Inner Circle, in fact, will all need to battle off against one another shortly.
ပြကမဟုတ်ပါဘောဒီစားဝေပို့တို့ IC တို့
So, going to be a real sparsity, I think, positions this south side.
ညီနီကာလီဖာ
Melee that we're looking
ညီနီ
forward
က
to. Burmese ghouls on the north side. I mean, they're in their compounds. They've got all 4 of their players alive. They can bide their time for a little bit
ညီ
longer.
နီရပါ
Not so for Alliance. They are one of those teams on the south edge. With Falcons, with Inner Circle, all stacked up around the lumberyard, and everybody
စမာရ
going
တော့
to try and chop their way out.
အခုတော့ဒီတော့ပြီးနေတယ်
It's up from both sides, though. This is nasty stuff. The T24 finds the first knock. Alliance not chiming in just yet, but Inner Circle actually going to be pushing up closer with Balak getting into nade range. Alliance will have oversight to this, and it will take him down. That is nasty news, and Narvaro's going to chase it through as well, looking for the knocks. And Gengia here on the eastern side, Blank, they're flexing out from the east edge instead of going for the circle. They want a third party, finding another knock towards Inner Circle. The flush comes on through, and now they're playing with 2 active, 1 down. Inner Circle, a little bit too far forwards, but who could have predicted? There's flex out coming through from Satan on Genji.
So what we've discovered here is that Genji hates
ဒီကာမီပတ်ပြီးကာယူရပြီဘယ်လိုလဲ
Not entirely sure why, but they keep running into them, causing a lot of problems right now for Inner Circle down to just IQ,
အဲ့ရှာနေရလေပေါ့
leader of the squad, trying to figure out how to make this work, how to get some more points in the game, and suddenly Weibo is in a far better spot than anyone else, similarly with the Flash.
အဲ့ရှာနေတယ်ဝီရှာနေ
I think for Team Flash on this western side,
ဟုတ်လား
and you're right, Weibo and Team Flash definitely now in with a massive opportunity to jump up on these standings
ERC
with a decent game. It doesn't even need to be massive. Getting on up there. But I think the big news maybe for the teams a little bit lower down, right? For teams like Burmese Ghouls, teams like Influence Rage, Wolves, this is an opportunity to put a dent in the lead that has been earned. If teams start to fall at the top, that is when the middle pack can rise. The rotates can start to come on through. And IQ, I mean, he'd like to go with prison at this point, potentially, but it seems to be a little bit overcrowded.
There's quite a few. It is ridiculous the amount of teams that are currently playing in prison. You really don't expect this at this stage of the game, especially with the circle starting to move a little bit further up towards that eastern edge. I want to see some more from the Wolves though here on that southwest side. Can they take down Alliance? Can they deal with the Flash? We'll have to wait and see.
အဲ့မတွေ့အေးဘီကြီးရှိမှကျေတော့ကြည်လေး
Flash.
ဘီရဆုံးပြခါမှာပါလေမချမ်းညာအေး
Steam Flash likely to look to the position, but it's going close to the prison. Oh, Blank. The shift to the southwest side. Arc Red control the hillsides. Team Flash have the western road. And Wolves as well. Looking pretty decent, but
ဒီဖလာကပါဝါ
the cells beckon our teams towards them. What have they done to deserve such punishment? As Falcons try and fly, live up to their namesake. They send on in. Let's see where they land.
တော့ပြီးနေရသူ့ဖေကို
Well, I mean, you're in the last chance, so you get in the prison. It's time. It is time to battle it out. Yeah. Out on the gym. Pump some iron.
ပြီးပြီးကောင်ပါပြီးကောင်ပါ
Pump those points. Hopefully.
အေးတော့တော့ကောင်ပါ
The distance that starts things off strong towards Ragnarok.
PK.
ဘာတော့တော့ပါမမျိုးရှိတယ်ငါနဲ့တော့
The pump action, but he turns the wrong corner. Two players to face, it's not going to work, but the answer from Ralph, the IGL, the man of the hour
ဘီကြီးဝင်
now,
ချိုင်းမှာဘီကြီးပါလာတော့လေလို့
holding down his corner and hops into the cell
ဒီ
block.
အေးမှာ
Really
ဟာ
wants
နေ
these
တော့မင်း
points.
ကြီး
He's charging forwards for
အ
them.
ထီတော့ပါ
Wants to stop the res as well. He knows this is the best situation he's going to get.
There's a
The
wall
best
around,
1v1
so-
he'll find. Goes in. Wrong corner, my friend.
Bye,
That
Katane,
means the
shop
guy
here.
actually
Hey,
in
hey,
there.
hey, hey.
Ralph, you're floundering now. And 2 players on the stairs. They're going to take a chunk out of you. You need to be more careful than that. He misses the
Tapari mo yun,
point
tapari mo
set
dyan, yung
right in
pagi.
front of him. He pops through a corner. Influence Rage are running it as well. Burmese Ghouls are playing the outside of the prison too. And loops are clashing. Brazilian Bonanza here on the inside. But the shack is held down and Influence Rage claim the point. But there's still more to go. Arcred now moving in. Blank, everybody's coming.
It is non-stop. It is non-stop. Arcred moving around that top side. Burmese Ghouls here as well. The Falcons, Ralph is blinded by the sunglasses he wears the majority of the time once he's on that stage. Sadly, not able to make up that point, and now will just remain on the southwest side of prison, tucked away for as long as possible. Weibo playing it slow. I think Weibo can start to sweep. Sadly, Claus finds Sook.
That's really nasty, but there is an answer from Hero. Maybe they can keep things under control, keep themselves as forward. They have prison right now. It's basically a superpower. Moving into this lobby, Team Flash as well. Now clashing with Wolves, nades going back and forth, and actually as Team Flash are taking the majority of the casualties here, as the nades start to come on through as well. Roll down from Claws is good from Weibo. And they look to step up to the challenge. Genji starting to falter. They may have ruined Inner Circle's day, but Weibo all too happy to use them as a springboard to the top of the tables right now. 78 points now earned. And they will look for more to clear out what they can. Team Flash, they're down to one in the meantime. Over on the west side hill, the Wolves are winning that fight.
Wolves doing pretty well. Definitely doing pretty well for themselves. Now looking down towards 9Z Club, and I think for 9Z Club, and this is a hard push versus the Wolves. But Nays look to be pretty limited on the Wolves there, which would be fantastic. I think for 9Z Club, and they're probably just going to stick around on that western side. Next circle, I'm thinking it's going to be towards the prison, yeah, so it cuts out a little bit. Weibo can control a huge amount of area from here, though. They will need to deal with Papra Supermassive soon. Similarly, also Boars on that north side are starting to make that move.
Slamming straight past, looking for Burmese Ghouls who are moving up on the high ground here. Cause tries to get ahead of it. DPS in hand. Kevin with the challenge. Cause turns the wrong way. Gets clocked by one. Second spray down there. And Rangers from 9ZG are just decimating the Burmese Ghouls approach. Yatka and Ichi immediately flushed away. And the backline's now the only thing that remain. Unknown. Wishes he had the necromancy powers on board right now. But Arcred also third partying. That's what they love to do. We haven't really seen them take that opportunity, but it is getting a little bit nasty. They moved down this eastern side. They've been on the prison ridge for so long. But with 2 players on the ball, the hard boy, he's got a hell of a task, and he will not be up to it.
Hey, X are able to find those shots. Weibo's taking a really long split out towards that eastern side. Do you find Tron B from Papra Supermassive and Nate goes long? It's not long enough, or is it? It's right on Sook's feet.
Not going to stop him, though. My man's still running, still going, still racking up miles. Needs to get his steps in. Cause, he's over the top, doesn't land on towards Remix on the north side. Biding the time, 90 Globan, controlling the mouth of prison right now. Weibo kind of filling in towards Arcred, and with a player down, it may be that Weibo were able to step through this one effectively. Thorin knocked by Alliance on this west side combat. Bull's able to have dispatched the majority of Team Flash, but Alliance able to extract value in the meantime on the west edge.
Flash actually being the ones to take those shots over towards 9Z Globan. They were playing inside a prison right now. They're on the western edge, but it's Weibo. Step up. Stoics now falling behind the buggy. A couple of tap shots do the trick. Ammo does not seem to be a problem either for Weibo, which is a really big deal, especially for that English. We're taking a lot of shots down towards the inside of prison.
Oh, Colligot moving through the boards. Here to play 12 teams up, and they want to try and make it 11. They will bust it down 1, but 12 teams in zone 6 is crazy. Finally, we lose a second as well. The Wolves are taken out by Alliance. And now this ridgeline for Alliance becomes very, very strong. The transition out the east side, though, a little bit more dangerous. Not really under control was Weibo.
Hello.
Not really under control as Weibo continue to rack up these point blank 7 elims, they're distinguishing themselves.
Pongo ini con veo, mati.
Secure that first place spot after match. Hard to do though, especially when
Una cosa.
hard to do though, especially when his position he's getting pushed in. He's down now, so Weibo got out in 6, so not a whole lot of placement points found. So it doesn't shove them further to the tables they quite like. That is a close.
for a cheeky third party that worked out for them, and that they were really respectful against Loops actually to just move into circle instead rather than trying to hold that fight, because the crates get so sticky. I mean, you could be there for half the game if you're not careful, Jake. So I don't mind that play from them. But for me, Alter Ego, maybe time to find a new drop spot for this last Erangel, because 2 out of 2 Erangels so far have been hot dropped on.
It's about time, though. It's about time we see teams get targeted here, because why not? If you're really trying to make something happen, you gotta shut down the top squads. I don't necessarily fully agree on that GK, we're being respectful of Loops. We'll talk about that later as we get to this end game, because Prison Circle here towards the end, Weibo looked in such control and then lose it out right there towards the finish, Max.
They were in full control, Hodrix, exactly, until they said, how about we start playing splits and play that? And they did do just that. It was very unfortunate. Oh, that nade, didn't even see it through the open roof in Prison itself. It's so fun to see a Prison finish. You don't see it very often, and the layout of this area is so different compared to anything else Erangel has to offer, so I really love it. But yeah, I mean, GG. I was going to say 90 global, but no, they didn't win it. GK, that's how I still can't believe that happened here. As we go over these rotations, and we're going to be able to see that, as always, we're going to the northern rotation and able to make it towards the late game.
That's really interesting that they're in Severny, actually, because we're going to see this massive rotation. They go all the way down to Milta Power in this next zone, right? They go all the way down here. You'll see them move now. They were right next to Inner Circle, I think it was, who also had a 2-2 split there. And then they go right up to Lipovka. Really quick rotation coming through from them. You see, gosh, 9Z have another big rotation. I mean, that just goes to show you how crazy this zone is, right? Because no one was expecting it to go here. So you've got teams going, okay, we got to pull something out of the bag here. We got to go right the way around. But Max, it's this final zone here. I really loved how WBG were playing this. Weibo had a fantastic. I love this split coming in from them, right? Just to hold off the teams on the south side. And then they got cocky. They went, hey, we're going to push 3 onto 9Z and lose and completely ruin the game. And that sounds like the best plan going forward.
It's so odd because they go from the split, talking about the southern one, such a good split, a respectful split. They play it very well against those southern teams. And then they go for a very ego-driven split. They're like, oh yeah, we can afford to go for this 3-1 split, but you got a very nadeable dip at 90 globe and instantly punish that. But they get punished after that 90 globe because of that fall off the cliff. So yeah, 20 points still good to 90 globe. Very good control on the outskirts of Prison itself, and Geek get 19. I wonder how, if they even know what the hell happened there. They're like, oh, I just won. I don't know what to tell you. It just worked out.
Yeah. I don't know. I almost want to say...
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. I almost want to say that Weibo should have taken a page out of their own book of the group stage, right? When they were being super respectful and not pushing too far. But I'm just saying, guys. But we look over on the second half. Inner Circle again, 1 point on the board. Burmese Bulls not having the day we saw yesterday, right?
Yeah, true. And look at Alter Ego too, getting 1 point. So Inner Circle, Alter Ego falling off. Burmese Bulls, as you said, like also losing a little bit of momentum after that initial day in the last chance stage. Quite unfortunate. Saf G though. GG, our MVP, the last survivor of GK of the entire game. In fact, I really cannot wait for the meme. Sorry, I know we should be analyzing and stuff, but you just know there's so much potential there, Hodging, so much.
It's so crazy because when I saw that play, I was like, oh, they realized that we're not making it. Let's just jump and have fun. But Weibo to the top. 85 total points. That consistency. They're putting up points like crazy here. So they're set up really good going into the rest of the day, Max, man. And with 85 points, that's going to feel pretty comfortable.
They're playing the top 4 musical chairs right now. It's like, I'm first, no, you're second, I'm third, you're fourth, I'm first, I'm second. It keeps intertwining and changing between these 4 teams in particular. And currently, there's still a little bit of a gap created in Chirrup of 9 points between Flash and Influence Rage.
Yeah, really, really good to see. I can't wait for our last Erangel Jukes. I think it's going to shake things up a lot.
It definitely is, guys. Guys, get your drinks, get your popcorn ready. We got the rest of the last chance coming up right after this short break.
Em còn cho má rồi
没戏啊，这个没嘛，没戏啊，我也不记得。
Oh, I'm going to go Wolves Esports. I think the Wolves Esports have been lucky in that. Really good in the past. Not the best day for them, unfortunately. The main issue we saw on Narangarai is not going for these big game winning positions, just trying to survive, and unfortunately kind of shuts down their later stage potential to rotate. And in this case, 90 kind of did what I was hoping Wolves would do that previous game, which is just leave that western cliff because it was going east of prison, and unfortunately they don't do that and they get caught in the midst of that rotation. So I think Wolves can make it if they do that one adaptation in their next 3 matches of the day.
Oh, that's interesting. I think they'd up that aggression. I don't know. I see them getting positions and they're just not in those fights. What do you think, Iftra?
No, I kind of agree with both of you. I really like the macro that we're seeing. I like that we're seeing them further into the game as well. We're seeing them more often in the late game, but I do agree the aggression just isn't there for me, particularly in this game, right? We were talking about they just made a full send play to the shack, and it's not very aggressive. It's kind of desperate. I'd like to see more of that thought process being put into those micro movements, into the aggression. So for me, yeah, Wolves could definitely do it if they make those changes. So I kind of agree with both of you on that front. For me, though, if I had to pick a team, I'm going to go with the Burmese Bulls because for me, they've been such a great team. They've been such a confident team, like we've been talking about, right? We saw such a different side to them yesterday, but today they've been so quiet. It's like they're in the gauntlet or the group stage rather all over again. Like it's like day one for them, and I really hope that we can see them come back and come back stronger the way we've seen them before. Because when they play like they did yesterday, they're a really good team, but they're just not being the team that we saw yesterday today, and I need to see that from them again.
I fully agree. I think all that confidence we've seen them build up throughout the course of this PMGC 2025 season has just kind of fizzled out today. It's very obviously we're not seeing that confidence anymore in these games, and they could still bring it back. There's some hope there, but unfortunately when you lose that steam, the Burmese Bulls don't start.
Oh, man, I'm looking at those last 2 Miramars with dread because it's going to be so difficult for a lot of these squads. I think a lot of them are going to realize that it's over at this point, right? With all these 50-point teams, they need to win this Erangel, and honestly, they don't need that. They also need to find a way to stop Weibo from getting any more points. We saw some targeting in the last match with Loops. Do you think we're going to see it again here, Max?
Well, I think we could. I think Loops are hungry to initiate that ascent in the top 2, and they're going to try and secure that position. Maybe this game, depending on how things go, they could definitely make it happen. They're currently in 6th position, 57 points. One banger chicken dinner hot jukes, and maybe we can see another America's team here make a push towards that top position.
Well, we heard Seven say the Falcons were looking to make a historic run. They're going to have to stop one of the top teams as well. Let's see what happens. Will these teams take fate into their own hands? Final Erangel of the day. Next, let's see what happens here.
Man, the nerves are getting to people now. 90 Globe would throw themselves from the top of a cliff and crash down at the feet of GK. 2 teams who, frankly, don't really have a chance to jump onto the top spots. So those final moments, not inconsequential, but certainly aren't going to affect those top 2 spots right now. Weibo able to establish a little bit of a lead, but again, it seems like maybe it's getting to them too. So this more, I believe. I think that the 3-1 split was not bad. I think I would have preferred the 4-man push there, but again, they were trying to account for so many scenarios where potentially Alliance pushes out. I think if they knew it was Alliance, they probably would have gone for the 4-man push because they would have realized Alliance is unlikely to push that. I think Alliance is a bit more of a passive team, but again, it's what you do now that really counts. But I think for Weibo, it was okay. It was okay. It was just they got outplayed. Realistically, they did just get outplayed on that northern edge by 9Z. It looked close. It did look close. In the meantime, nice play path from the west to the east on Lepovka. We're going to have a stage report soon from 7. Catching up with some of our players. Just going over how the day's gone and what he's been observing. Yeah, I think that's more likely. Probably not wanting 9CG, definitely not wanting to talk to him after that game. They will have pushed him out of their booth as fast as they can. Weibo, of course, had a little bit more of an option. A little bit more of a chance, potentially. But, then again, threw themselves at 9ZG. I suppose 9ZG were like, well, you know what? Fair enough. Like, we got these points because, Weibo basically allowed us to have them, right? So, it's only fair that we donate them back to the lobby. So, they weren't losing their points so much as giving the points that they'd been given forwards. And, if it isn't the season of giving, then I don't know what that was about. Because, yeah, absolutely crazy. GK, though, they're hoping that they can do it again. Alter Ego, they switch away from the western side. They're going to drop over towards Lipovka this time around. Go for the Lipovka split. So 2 players in Lipovka will play down towards prison, and then another player towards the mansion side. To get away from all the action that's been occurring on that northwest edge, which I think is completely fair for those guys, all things considered. EK in their hovercraft, moving over towards Sosnovka to start in Novorapnoye, nice and early, also grabbing a hovercraft, very useful for them. Nice early game, get towards the late game even better. At the moment, a tiebreaker for Alter Ego on that bubble, second place, but only just by the skin of their teeth. A lot of teams left to go. We're heading over to the stage. 7 has the report. He's got the lowdown. He's got the goods. Let's see. Welcome to a quick report with the 7WG. I heard the Nest wondering what happened between Alter Ego and Loops. Wondering if Alter Ego was maybe hot dropping them or if Loops was hot dropping them. It turned out to be just something with the rotations that they were doing. Those teams are going to be looking to make sure they don't end up with the same rotation once again. There we go. A little bit of info on the team's rotations there coming through from 7. Fantastic stuff. Getting that low down. The inside scoop coming on through. Beautiful stuff. Maybe more context, and that's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, context is always nice, and I mean, it does make sense here. With Alter Ego moving over towards that eastern side, they have definitely ensured that doesn't happen again, purely because they're nowhere near Loops here in the future. Loops didn't really change all that much, to be honest. I think it's more an Alter Ego here to make that change, which is fair enough. For Loops, they can keep barreling it down in South George. For Alter Ego, it makes all the Sosnovka. See how quickly GK does want to leave if they want to gatekeep on that side. Inner circle, honestly, I am curious. I don't know what they're going to go for. It's always a gamble. It's always a risk. They're on 54 points now, blank. And I said maybe it wasn't super consequential, but actually, maybe they can do it, Maybe GK can make it in. It's very unlikely. There's been a lot of teams really pushing for points. I think that you're right that GK could do it, but to think that if you asked any one of us here on the broadcast if we think GK is going to be in top 2, I think we'd say no. Regardless, they're giving it a good shot, giving it a good go. Arcred finding shots over towards Gen G, who are down the southwest side, helping out, honestly, in a circle, who probably could make that rotate now that they've lost 3 players. But that would require Inner Circle to... There's a lot of mind games here, because now Inner Circle will have to be very brazen and make the Western Bridge crossing again. But this time it is easier, but they don't know that. I mean, that is true. Potentially a little bit softer. Looking at the record circles so far today. The first 2 matches, right? It feels like more than 2 matches, to be honest. I feel like I've aged about 5 years after watching those last 2 matches. But GK, they're feeling pretty youthful right now because they got 3rd place and 12 elims, followed by obviously the chicken dinner that we saw. They got 9 elims for it. This is a massive climb for them, right? The question is rate and consistency here, and GK haven't really shown that before. We're hoping they'll be able to do so here. And speaking of consistency, Alter Ego looking to try and stay consistent up in the top spots because right now they're right next door to Team Flash. They want to do their best to keep them at bay. You see Gen G losing players there as they go on the replays.
I think that we also have to consider that we've had some pretty weirdo circles today.
True.
Where it's not always super determined where and who's going to come out on top there. Does require you to have some very high skill. And I think a lot of our strong teams have made it towards those end circles regardless because they have good rotates, they're able to fight out of this position as well. Alter Ego very close to the Flash now. Rosemary steps out. That should be a knock, and it is.
Ooh, very quick on the flash as well, looking for that shutdown immediately. Doesn't quite get it, but the bleed out ticks down, and that will do the job, do the task. Supermassive across the way. The spray is good. Either way, it goes to the Alter Ego tally. And they are now distinctly in 2nd place. It's not a tiebreaker anymore, Blank, by 1 point against Inner Circle, who have yet to leave the military island.
Sorry, I was taken aback. It was like showing Rosemary. It was just a completely different dude on our screen. I was like, I don't think that's what Rosemary looks like. Here we are getting our 2nd circle on board now. She does head over towards Pachinki. Falcons, do your best, do your worst.
They're already 2-2 split. Look at that big split right now, a kilometre between them. And they're going to want to regroup onto these hills or at least figure something out because that is a nasty rotate needed for them. They flexed out, tried to hedge their bets again. GK, they're leaving. They're on the hovercraft fleet and they've actually got quite a few going on. I think there was at least 2, probably 3 moving across. And GK can transition as a little bit of a bulldozer into the south side of this circle, potentially, maybe coming into conflict with the balls. Falcons have the roll-up sent their way, and Alter Ego here to play. That from Supermassive as well are stepping to. Redox burns the core frame. Krypton doesn't connect. Will finally land the spray down. It felt like one of those shots should have done it, but Krypton gets knocked to the burn, and he's not down just yet. Alpha, now the last to stand, all of a sudden, it's the Burmese Ghouls to play too.
3 down here. They get 1. Opens the door, crawls inside. I'll talk about it later, but I think for Alter Ego, they do need a big old reset on this one. Redox is out. Should be able to get the rest of the reses through fairly safely. That is a lot of teams in Pachinki. That's a lot of teams that all decided right now is the time to be in Pachinki. For the Falcons, oh man, I wish they'd regrouped earlier. And also, I think the Falcons too, they do this annoying thing on a Pachinki finish like this, or at least an initial Pachinki zone. They'll play on like the western edge of Pachinki rather than just playing inside of it. Oh well.
Might not even have that opportunity this time, kind of on the lock-in right now. They have managed to put 3 players on that western edge, but the centre area a little bit more dangerous. You don't quite have the info with Redox going down. You assume it's going to be a little bit packed in there. Kamikaze for Papa Supermassive. They crashed in similar time to Alter Ego. Didn't want a third party on that north side. Might have been a real soft target for them, but with the Burmese Ghouls there as well chiming in. Maybe too dangerous for Papa Supermassive's liking. They will play this east border of Pachinki instead, playing in the Storm Drain. And see what they can find. That wasn't a knock there. That's Kamikaze going down, though, to Glory. Nearly getting across. Will be there. And there's the rescue. The pickup. Tron B able to find Glory 22 as well. So that will slow Arc Red from going on in. The res on Kamikaze needs to come in now.
Tron B, good shots from him to recover that for Papa Supermassive. It's a lot of team energy. It's kind of weird the way the circles are panning out here in Last Chance. It was like, we're going for the big play. We don't want to play edge. We want center. We want big point. Please.
Oh yeah,
give them big point. See what they can do. Geek, they're going back and forth with Boars right now, but the Boars are still as 4. That bleed out though, it's looking pretty deadly. The circle does keep Pmgc in flank, but the West Hills may be a little bit more favourable. I'm looking at inner circle right now. They are in a circle for sure. They may just be quitting for this match. If they can get a big game from this position, I'd be interested to see what Alter Ego are going to do in response.
Yeah, I think that Weibo is actually one of the few teams that's actually sticking to their guns here coming into the final day, which I like, right? You know, it didn't quite work out in that last game, so we got quite a few points off the back of it and are in first place. But yeah, I think they're the one team that, one of the couple teams that are just like, you know what, we're going to play our game, we're going to play edge, we're going to take these micro splits down again, and then just go for our rotations, go for sweeps. Whereas there's a lot of teams that have all, like I said, just decided we want center, we want a huge game, and that is really hurting them. I think that Weibo and Alter Ego and Inner Circle are afforded that chance to play your own game, though, because you are so far towards the top side of the lobby, John. You don't have to make up as many points as these other squads in the next 3 matches.
When Geek cut down to size by the Boars. I mean, it's not going easy for them, and Nerzet is still there. Ragnarok as well, and now Stoic's actually the last up. Okay, a turnaround for Geek. They still want it. They're on 2 players alive, Blank, but they've got 4 elims. They're in 6th place now. Team Flash circling around, but they only have 3 as well. Potato Hill, the focus of it, and I'm surprised the Flash have flexed back out this way, given that the circle is all the way out to the west.
Goodness me. I mean, for teams, you're having a sort of a weird time with this one because Pmgc is definitely a focal spot, right? But you also have the fields on the western edge. So if you are an edge team, you are struggling to find a good spot to play. And I think at this point in time, you want to go stealth, right? You want to play out this game until stage 5 without really having to see any other teams too early. Wait until you can start sweeping a little bit more safely. I do think that for Falcons, although yes, that did not go well, although they lost one player right off the rip, I do feel like sort of not entirely their fault, because the amount of teams rotating in towards Pmgc was insane. And I think that makes their rotation back towards Pmgc very strange, right? So there is all these, because everyone's going for high value plays, it's completely shifting up the way the rotations are working, and you don't have another day to figure that out, right? So this is all new. This is all new to teams.
It's chaotic. It is messy. And the last chance, as we said, is getting to people. Geek will be drawn short, so maybe their run is... See, Chile, as the circle shifts out west side flank, Influence Rage, blue, nice. You go, but maybe with a chance. But Rainbow up the top. Sitting pretty.
That's a killer. That's a killer of a circle. It's completely cutting out Pmgc because it is as hard as it can go over towards the west side. Goodness me, I mean, Lu's probably will have a nice game off the back of this. Influence Rage might be able to regain some momentum here on our last angle. Coops finds Ralph and Doran finds Hoa. And for Falcons, now there were 1. Pretty unfortunate, but it's not that much towards the western side. I don't care.
He's going to step up to the Burmese Ghouls flank, and I think you know which way you want this fight to go. The nade's already pulled, and our Valo's like, nope, okay, you guys stay there. I don't even want the judge. I'm gonna head back into Pmgc. finish where he started. Alter Ego with a scrap at their doorstep here. Papra Supermassive tried to find it, but 2 knocks found. Back towards Papra Supermassive. An off angle, maybe a third party coming through, and a knock towards Alter Ego. No, Rosemary just about stays alive. Nico last standing. They tag the damage. Kamikaze is bleeding out. They'll turn their attention to Nico with the blue zones here, and that will be Alter Ego claiming points now. With 3 players alive, Krypton dashing for the zone, and the Burmese Ghouls are down the hill to play as well. Ichi there, Yanka down on the top, so might need a res at Ichi too.
A really good shot there. I mean, as much as I back the Burmese Ghouls, I always have to back the Falcons. As much as I feel like they make mistakes, I've spent so much time casting and covering these players that, yeah, I have to back them. Even though they are down at 13, I do believe there's a future where we see a strong finish in Pmgc Grand Finals from the Falcons. It's just not right now. It's just not right now.
2 big fights right now. Weibo taking shots at Alter Ego, trying to defend their top spots. They don't want Alter Ego to come with them. And in the circle on the side, like a big name comes through from Weibo. Over towards Alter Ego. They're obliterating the competition. They're flushing them away. There's nothing to do. In the circle falling in the meantime as well. It's just Falak remaining on that south side in the picture-in-picture blank. Big moves for the teams at the top of the tables. And it's only Weibo to keep it together.
Weibo with the damn Chinese fireworks take down Alter Ego. Oh. Yes, there have been some mistakes. Yes, there have been some hiccups, but they are clearly playing better than the rest of the squad, the rest of the lobby.
Unearned, but yes, it's pretty nasty. Out to the open we go, and loops are cut in on their compound. They're one of the teams that may be able to chase on in. They are quite far behind the bubble now, with 81 points being that second place. Hang on a minute, Rosemary. Okay. Nade's coming on through. Gen G chiming in as well. Damage. Rosemary stepping in for the spray as the res is coming through on the back line. Rosemary cannot hold his nerve against Ramses. And he will be able to shut it down. Alter Ego 4-8. 1 points now. And he will be able to shut it down. Alter Ego 4-8. 81 points now, the target for Influence Rage, but Loops may be on the outside.
Margaret, though, they made a big change.
It's got speed 4, but Yatka and Unknown are still here. Going. Still one at Eagle's feet, is he no? No, it's not going to connect. He's around the corner, and now Zook starts to strike. Burmese Ghouls should be falling. They will go down and out. Weibo will get 3 points. Wolves pick up to their 4th elimination as well. Now they have to fend off. It's Weibo game.
For Wolves, very clean fight there. No one really lost any HP. Burmese Ghouls were the only ones to fall. Zook's going to make a wrap out to the side. He's a little bit slow. might just get to his team before he gets knocked, but doesn't even fall there, which is great news. A little bit of attack on there from the walls of the 4E limbs, but it is Hero to go down, and it's Loops taking some massive shots at distance. You can see that just spraying through the smoke. That's very surprising. They've got Alliance as well right behind them, so Virginia dedicated. Tailing off Weibo on the far hillside, but they're holding for now. They're all very low. Oh, and Coop steps forwards. He's doing so much. I don't even know where all those knocks came from, Blank, but either way, 88 points now, no chicken dinner. The top two have drawn to a close. Arcred, 11 eliminations on the southeast side. Influence Rage, nothing right now. That was not Coop's attack, it was all Rafina. Wait, what? That was crazy. He's just tapping through the smoke. He was knocking them left, right, and centre. And he was just spraying across. That was incredibly on target. Like I said, it was like playing battleships there for Loops. And finally, they do sink Weibo. Because Weibo doesn't have a big game here, it's still all up for grabs. If they did get a strong game on this match with Alter Ego and Inner Circle out, that could have been them securing their position to the top one. Very sad. Very, very sad for them. Nades over Loops. They might have sunk a Weibo ship. Trying to roll on in. Oh, a teammate on the run out. I mean, it's a team molly. And another one. Oh, Alliance absolutely have this fight in hand right now. Loops looking like a different team. But the Wolves, they're moving on in. They're on the hunt. So back they go. Igor Coops first in, and now Watson and Doran raging on through. Luke's not going to be able to control it on the back line. The nades are here, though, and the bounce out is going to connect overall towards Doran. The Wolves sent straight to the wall. The Molotovs to burn, and they've used it on the nades over towards Loops. Really not going to go for resupply. That goes long. But it connects on the baton. Doran is bleeding and Coops is low. Where's the last player for the Wolves? They send all the way over the circle, and they get sent dizzy. The Wolves go down to 2 players. The Fangs blunted on that push. Nice nade over towards Ratso, but just not quite on time. Needs to get through to the other building. Coops now sending in. I believe it's a smoke there to try and cover off the door. Lions also finding a lot of shots here, but the Wolves just can't quite find the value. They might get 1 limb off the back of this. Stepping forwards, they're trying to get this crawlback covered off, so he knows he's going to go for the peak. Jimmy takes the window, moves out to try and control the ground. Healing needing to happen as well. You don't really have time for the rest right now. The Wolves are going to hop in. The blue zone is pushing. Jimmy needs to be more on this push, but the Wolves stick him down. They allow that one. The sticky on in. Looking to try and get that flush is going to push them out of the way. Eagle's so low when he steps forwards. Not sure if he has any more healing to be putting on board, but has to step back to start to enact it. It's such a disgusting amount of chip damage that the Wolves are taking. I don't even know where it's coming from. In the meantime, Influence Rage chilling on the east side. They are happy as can be. Backs off, the Wolves push slightly further forward. No other sightline's quite on this yet, but you can hear it inside the building. Getting close. Ooh. That's where they were coming from. Look at 90 Globin's layout. They've got 4 players here, Blank. They are doing quite a bit, it has to be said, from this angle. We'll see what more they can find as Arcred do go down. They have up on 65 points, though, Blank. That is a real jump up from their start of the day. They too are within striking distance, and they were definitely on the list of teams I was counting out, but they've really changed the story. 90 Globin. I was counting out, but they've really changed the story. 90 Globe, let's see if they can make up for lost games in that last one. Hopefully putting it to the back of their mind and not thinking about it too much, because they do have a run out to go for. The question is, where do you go right now? Because Influence Rage, the only team that's more towards the center of the circle, and they've got 4 players. Yeah, everyone's having a horrible time, just so you know. Next circle, if it goes center, everyone might just die in the next 2 minutes. And it does. It forces everyone out of position. This is such a disgusting final zone. it doesn't favour anyone. Influence Rage, they wished it went over towards the northeast side. A team in 6th place looking to chase would have been huge for them. The Flash is all about placement points. Getting over towards top 4 would be fantastic to place them further in contention for that top 2. But this is so closely fought, and it's been so closely fought for so long.
Absolutely. Now see the conclusion, but Jimmy seems to have the line up equal. Goes through Coops, about able to avoid the storm, but steps into another one. But he's got one of his own to dish back on out, and now Coops looking for that bandage. Doesn't have a first aid to play with, and Jimmy already on the bunny hops, hopping his way over, and Coops can't keep his cool under pressure in that one. Influence Rage wants to flex out a big rise. Alliance fall next. A third party to stop another competitor, and 90 Global are falling out in the meantime. Influence Rage, they're moving in, taking down Team Flash, starting to put the pressure onto everybody in the lobby. They've been quiet for a while, but they take the opportune moment to flex it out.
That's a fantastic push for Influence Rage. They even leave a backstop over towards the east side as that secondary angle. Really, really well done. I think Influence Rage absolutely deserve to win this game. In the midst of all this chaos, they even get lured towards the center of the circle. Oh, I love this from this team. This is some classic Brazilian gameplay.
And now they're looking for the last. Quick is out for Gen G. They want to keep it going, but he's put to sleep quickly. It's Influence Rage looking to mount their ascent as well. Every single team that's won a game today, Blank, has done so at a crucial juncture. And now the Brazilians will join them too.
Yeah, honestly, such a good game for Influence Rage there. I don't think you could ask for that endgame to be played any better, honestly. So well done. But now we're heading over towards Miramar. That was our final Erangel of the day. No more classic wins. But to be fair, a lot of those circles were really brutal, especially that last one. And I think that if
Miramar next. What have you guys got to say?
Rage, pull out the chicken dinner in the final Erangel of the last chance. And oh, did they needed it. They were in the 3rd place position at the start of this match, man. They dropped down to 5th, but with this win, it's definitely going to kind of push them back up to possibly grab one of those top 2 spots. What a finish from this Brazilian squad.
I mean, what a game. So controlling, so decisive, so snappy, especially going for the right fights at the right time, as Blank said at the end of that game. This is classic Brazilian gameplay. How aggro they were was actually crazy in this game. And look, even the stragglers at the end are like, yeah, we're just going to push it. We want those Olympics. But do you think you're going to be allowed to deny that point to the Blue Zone? Hell no. You're in our house. And this is going to be our point to get. 2-2-2 split across Law, Lil Boy, and Federal. Jago not getting much as he goes out earlier in this game. But regardless, wait, zero down. It's correct.
Touch? No.
Is this no?
Touch, wait, no knockouts. Wait, guys.
I don't believe this. If this is real, this is mad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, that can't be right. Okay, we're gonna move past that real quick.
So is this the...
Yeah. Yeah,
no, it wasn't a knock. It was an instant elimination. Oh no, maybe they did get 0 knocks because that was an instant. They didn't go the knock. It went right into a finish because it was the first player. Maybe they did get 0 knocks there. That makes sense actually because it was instant every time. The final play of Alliance was Jimmy. So that tracks. The 0 damage though taken is crazy.
The 0 damage taken is crazy. It also tracks out with the amount of damage that they delivered, right? Because there's like less than 200 for most of them, so that does make sense that they were picking off knocks that were already down. So okay, interesting, cool. I mean, that's a fantastic win coming out of them. I want to say specifically that the push over onto Alliance was fantastic because that gave them 2 compounds now to use as a springboard against the rest of the lobby. Oh, what a nade coming in from Weibo. But I'm really, really happy with how Influence Rage actually used that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to pay attention to this in particular. How were loops? I want to say it's a mix of skill and luck. How to hit those shots through the smokes at that kind of range is beyond me. I have no clue how that worked out. And you know what? Fair to Wolves, super willing to third party, right? And I'm sure like they were good for the third party. They eliminate all of Weibo, then they wrap behind a line, start to make that entry point onto Alliance and loops combined. Wolves, I think, are feeling how desperate they have to be to make that climb. And you know what? So far, it paid off getting 8 points on this game.
Yeah, some great stuff coming in there. It's actually, Juice, wait, hang on, sorry. There's 8 points for Genji, Alliance, and Wolves. Alliance and Wolves both need those points and are very, very close to each other. So that's going to be an interesting thing going into Miramar here, where they're getting those, they're kind of tying up here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to push them up a little bit. I still think they're going into the desert, though. They're going to need a win. I think they definitely need to. I love the fact that Wolves pushed onto Weibo, right? Not just considering that they need those eliminations, guys, but they knew. They knew that Weibo was right there. And considering that that's the team that's in the top spot, if you can make that risk to take out that team early, you have to take it. You have to, because if those top teams get more points, no matter what you do, it's just not going to work out. So I like the fact that Wolves were active. I even like that crazy wraparound push towards the end there for them, but it's just unfortunate they had 2 go down.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough. Still really good at 10, though. Looking at Arcrit, they got 11 eliminations, 1 placement point, going absolutely ham in the mid-game section of this match, and actually able to completely outplay Inner Circle. And looking at Inner Circle, 2 points. I was looking at their position this game. In my opinion, massive throw from Inner Circle. You have one of the best positions this entire game on Pachinki Hill, and they go for this 2-2 split, putting 2 players away from Pachinki Hill, which reduces the defense you set up in that position, and Arcrit just completely demolish you on that fight. I think Inner Circle were just not setting themselves up for success. And compared to Federal, that definitely was set up for success this game. And finally, you know what? He was benched for a little bit, Hidimchura, but he's back and swinging hard with that MVP award for this match.
He is back. He is swinging. He's doing all the things. And that is exactly what you want to see when you're going into the final 2 games of the day of the league stage for PMGC, right? When it's all down to the wire, when whether you move on to finals or you go home tomorrow comes down to 2 more games. This is a fantastic win for them. I love the mentality we saw in that.
Biggest comeback we've ever witnessed here at PMGC Hot Troops.
It's possible. It is possible. I mean, it's going to leave it up to Miramar here. So many squads. I love how close this is, guys, because, I mean, even if you go down to, like,
Green, right? They had to see from them. For me, it feels like they're trying to be too big brain just slightly here with that 2-2 split they were trying to do over Pmgc. I understand they're trying to find more reach, but that was not the place to do it. That was not the time to do it. Once the zone shifted away, they were way too slow on the rotate. They were trying to gatekeep other teams, and for them who thrive in the end game, I think that was the wrong play. They needed to actually prioritize the next bit more room.
Making top 3. Few points here and there ahead to get towards that top 1, top 2. First and second place seem to be very close together. I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't even break the century. I think that splits on this map.